Dump it. Our guest is Boris Epstein. Got Jack Posobiec here in the War Room. We're live. It's Thursday, the 28th of January, the year of our Lord 2021. Another historic day on Wall Street, where the populist revolt against the establishment, against the central financial apparatus of the West is under assault. You see Leon Cooperman right there. Oh, yeah, just don't tax my assets. They're all starting to squirm. I love it before the guy, oh, yeah, we're really looking for the customers, but we just want to look after ourselves first. It's all becoming revealed now. A populist revolt in Joe Biden, feckless Joe Biden. I want to see all the liberals, all the progressives. You want to back this guy. He's Joe from Scranton. He's an economic nationalist. He's a populist. Where is it? Where's Yellen? Where's the Fed? Where's Biden? Biden can't handle this one. They can't be on the glass. All you guys out there on Twitter, this is something that the right's doing to jam up Joe Biden. No, this is called populism, pure and simple. AOC, stop talking about eating the rich. Go primary Schumer. Throw down tomorrow. Schumer's one of the biggest problems here. He's a protector of the elite class of Wall Street. I want to bring in Boris Epstein. First question we got, Boris, how much Blue Star do you have in your portfolio?
I've got Blue Star in the portfolio. Proud to have these stocks. Full disclaimer, this is not a stock advice, not market advice, but I am a proud owner of the four following stocks. GameStop, AMC, NOK Nokia, and my favorite phone I've ever had, BB BlackBerry. And I continue to hold because I will not bend. I will not be bullied. I will not be cowed down. And I'm now going to cow down to the establishment. And just because Robinhood decided to throw its ethics and the law out the window, I'm not going to throw out these stocks out the window.
Okay. I want to make this understandable to our audience who doesn't necessarily call in or watch the business channels. What exactly is going on here, and why is Robinhood this kind of broker? Why are they blowing guys? I know there's like margin calls, but they're blowing guys out of their stocks right now. And I hear that they're cutting trades, they're not taking trades. Just explain to our audience, what is this short squeeze? You heard the guy at the beginning saying, hey, it's $15 billion. There's more hedge funds about to get blown up here. Are there not, Mr. Boris Epstein?
There absolutely are. The big funds that have been shorting GameStop and the other stocks had what's called a short overhang. And I know I'm getting technical here, so let's go take a step back. What is a shorting of the stock? A shorting of a stock is when you borrow the stock at a price, say, just easy math. You borrow it at $10, you hope that it goes down, and you buy it at $5, and then guess what? You just made $5 because you borrowed it, sold it at 10, bought it at 5. There you go. You made $5. So that's what a short is. Why does anyone short a stock? Because they believe that a company is going to do worse in the future than it will today, or they want it to do worse in the future than it does today. Why does someone buy a stock? Because they believe that company is going to do better in the future. So what started happening? The Reddit, the MAGA crowd, the all everyday Americans, the younger generation went out there and said, you know what, we believe in these companies. And then they were backed up by Elon Musk, backed up by Dave Portnoy, who was a total star, Barstool Sports. And then they were backed up by even Mark Cuban, who I'm not a big fan of because of his politics, but he's been successful, obviously. So there's been a conglomeration. There's really, if you think about it, the left and the right are actually uniting here in a way, and they're going after the establishment. A lot, Steve, very reminiscent to what we saw in 2016 in the election that we won with President Trump, where you had the unionized Americans who are now being decimated by Joe Biden, but you had the union members in Michigan and Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Ohio come out for President Trump, and of course you had the conservatives come out for President Trump. This is the same exact phenomenon, It is the MAGA coalition going after the establishment and the original swamp, which is the big old money, New York City, huge funds. So that is what's happening. And what's a short squeeze? A short squeeze is when a fund is short a stock by a big amount and the stock keeps going up and they have to keep buying their contracts. They have to keep reborrowing the stock and they're running out of money. So that's what's happening. And then here's the key of the worst thing that's happening here. Here's the worst, most maddening, most disgusting thing of the day, and one of the most awful things I've ever seen on the street. Robinhood, which is supposed to be for the people, think of the name, right? Robinhood, which is supposed to be for those who don't want to pay anything to conduct their trades. It's a fee-free environment. They stopped the ability of their clients to buy GameStop and AMC. So they didn't prevent them from selling. They only prevented the buying. If that is not market manipulation, I do not know what is. It is absolutely illegal. It is absolutely unethical. And Robinhood, the only thing Robinhood's achieved today is in uniting people like AOC with people like Ted Cruz and Boris Epstein. That is what's happening.
Let me ask you for this. There's been a hysteria among the elites, whether it's CNBC, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times business section, Andrew Ross Sorkin, you pick it, saying, oh, the integrity of the capital markets, the integrity of our financial institutions is being questioned by these guys that are just out there to drive the stock up. What say you, Boris Epstein?
The integrity of our system, this is as clear and clean as can be. These are people coming together saying that we believe in the companies and we're going to buy them. We still have the First Amendment in this country. Everything here is within rules and regulations, as far as I can tell, and I always urge everybody to be within every rule, law, and regulation, and there are a lot of them when it comes, obviously, to stocks and securities as well as bonds, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're seeing from the establishment, the same establishment that has derided President Trump and the MAGA movement for years, it's not a derision. They're not attacking President Trump and the movement. They're attacking every day Mary and Joe in America because they believe Mary and Joe and some kid named Harrison, some young kid trading, don't know enough. Somehow they're not smart enough to buy stock. They think that the War Room crowd, people who watch War Room, people who are interested in what's going on in politics and the markets are somehow not smart enough. They're not in a fancy club to go and buy and sell stocks. Are you kidding me? That is not American. That is elitist. And if they don't, they're literally thinking the way George III and George IV thought back in the 17 and 1800s. That is that kind of elitist top to down thinking. It has no place, and we have to keep fighting against it. And that's why I love what's been happening on the street. It is the liberalization, the opening up of the last vestige, you could say, of the top-down economy, the stock market, and what's happening on Wall Street.
You know, research analysts and how ordered markets go. Here, what about the question? Hey, the book value of the company was $20. Stock was trading at $3. Now you got the stock 300, 405. You got the stock blowing up. The market cap of the company is turnaround's $50 billion. This is a company that was close to liquidation. How do you answer the question that this is just purely a speculative bubble and there's going to be a lot of MAGA that get burned on this thing?
Well, I'll say a couple things. First of all, it is absolutely incumbent upon every American, upon everybody who's choosing to buy, sell, engage in securities, whether it's options, puts, calls, whatever it may be, to do their research. So, and that is clear and obvious. Everybody's got to do their research. That's one. Two is we have freedom of choice in America, right? We still have agency in America. We are our own people. And it is not anyone else's job to tell an American or anybody else in the world what to think, how to think, and what to do. If they choose, based on information they have, to buy a stock, whether they think it's worth less than it's selling for or more than it's selling for, that is their choice, number one. Number two, I would urge everybody to spend a long time looking at the balance sheet of the FANGs, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, and think about whether what those stocks trade for are even anywhere near the value of those companies. It took Amazon ages to break a profit, and its stock was soaring. If you think Bezos is a gajillionaire based on just what Amazon does in profits, I've got a Brooklyn to sell you. He's a bajillionaire, gajillionaire because of the stock. That's what it is. So if there's a long discussion,
Jack.
Well, and on Bezos, real quick there, not to trip you up, but one of the things that we are hearing is that this app Robinhood, they have been looking for potential buyers over the past year or so. And one of the names that's been floated as a potential buyer, possibly in negotiations for Robinhood, is none other than Jeff Bezos.
What would you say to that?
Hey,
Let the consolidation go with having Robinhood owned by Amazon.
it wouldn't surprise me one bit because it would be a continued uniting of the establishment against the benefit at the detriment of everyday Americans. And if we have any sort of antitrust, if we have any sort of anti-monopoly, perspectives left in this country, they've got to take a long look at it. And I'm a free market guy. But if you are having open collusion, clear collusion, then that's got to be investigated. And I just took a quick look here, Steve, real quick. I just took a quick look. If you look at the numbers on
Boris,
Amazon,
I tell you, Boris Epstein's, I guess, Boris has many decades of experience in Wall Street. Boris, question, have you ever seen hedge funds, supposedly the professionals, ever get wrapped up like this and actually be on the wrong side of a trade with a bunch of the guys essentially from the Rebel Alliance, where now they're losing? We already know Melvin Capital, I think, lost $3.5 billion. We don't know how much Citadel's lost trying to bail out Melvin to keep their leveraged long positions good. But we hear, and the guy, the internet broker guy said, hey, he thought there was $15 billion of shorts out there still to be covered. Have you ever seen the big guys take it right on the chin from these mini Mike Tysons?
No, not like this. Usually the market takes it on the chin, right? We've all experienced it. You go back to you go back to Black Monday in the 80s. We all know what happened in 2000, and of course, 2008, and then earlier this year, the market generally takes it on the chin as a whole, right? It's not an intra-market fight, and what we're seeing here is extremely unusual. It is frankly exciting, and again, as long as the buyers are doing everything within all the applicable rules, laws, and regulations, which it does appear to be. Now, I haven't studied it all. I'm not giving my legal opinion. I'm not giving my stock opinion here. But it appears that these are just people who are saying, hey, it's a good stock. Let's go buy. And they're buying it. By the way, for a long time in our country, for the longest time in our country, it's supposed to be the right thing to go long companies, to bet on companies. It's shorting that's had a lot. It's shorting that's been regulated and maybe even overregulated. You're supposed to be encouraging long buying.
Boris, Posovic's got breaking news now out of Charlie Gasparino in the SEC. What is it, Posovic?
Right, so Gasparino is reporting that his regulatory sources at SEC enforcement are looking at a market manipulation case on Robinhood regarding Reddit, GameStop, the whole imbroglio. They are expecting SEC to ask for Robinhood's blue sheet trading data and match it up with suspicious comments on Reddit.
Okay, Boris, they're going after the little guy. This is the SEC, not going after the hedge funds, not going after the corrupt Wall Street mafia. They're going after the little guy, as Charlie Gasparino reports it. What say you, sir?
So, Lauren, are you telling me that the SEC under Joe Biden is going to be going after a group that's viewed as pro-MAGA that's attacking the establishment? That is a shocker. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm so shocked that law enforcement in this country is going to be attacking and ruining the lives of some people who appear to be pro-MAGA, maybe just regular Americans who are apolitical, after they just ruined the lives of so many in the Russia hoax in the last 4 years and went after all of us. Come on, I'm obviously being facetious. This is to be expected, but that is why we cannot be silent, cannot cow down to the elites. Again, I'm urging everybody to follow every law, rule, and regulation. That's how we stay strong. Color within the lines, as you say, Steve. But once you do that, stay strong. Don't cow down. And here's something I would like to point out that I find interesting. If you look at cash to debt, which is one way to evaluate a company, cash to debt, GameStop is approximately 38% cash to debt. Do you know what Netflix is?
I take out a lot more.
Whole lot of debt.
Yeah.
45%. 45%. That means that they've got that GameStop has more cash per debt than Netflix. And nobody's talking about how Netflix is out of whack on the stock. But they're one of the fangs. That's it. Everybody loves it. Again,
Boris,
this goes back to the very basis of what we've been talking about. Okay. And if you think about last thing, I know you got to go. Last thing. The MAGA movement is pro-American, pro-capitalist. Capitalism is about the economy and finance. This is Adam Smith at his very base, at his very core. And it is amazing to watch. I wish everybody to stay strong, God bless you and keep up the fight. And my Twitter is at BorisTP. Before you even ask, my Instagram is Boris_Epstein, Boris_EPSHTEYN. Twitter at BorisTP. God bless you.